Welcome back, everybody. John Foster, Global Sports Network, Talking Tennis with John Foster, and that's what we're going to do today. We've got a couple subjects. College tennis, pro tennis. For me, when I coach a tennis player, playing high school tennis is nothing. You can, if I coach you, you're going to play high school tennis, and that's very weak. If I coach you, you should play college tennis. And that's what you should shoot for. I hate it when a kid plays his whole life and then he can't make the college team. Now, talking about the difference between college, and this is where a lot of parents don't understand, the difference between college tennis and pro tennis is very little. Actually, they're the same. If you're going to play Division I college tennis, a lot of parents I work with right now, the kids are getting very good. They're on their way. They're super champs. They're going to have a national ranking soon. So they're going to start to figure it out soon. Guess what, Dad, Mom? They're going to be playing pro tennis in the summer, okay? 14, 15-year-old boy, he's going to be off, and you're going to send him to Europe, and he's going to go play pros, guys that are 800 in the world, 1,200, 1,500 in the world. He's going to be playing pro tennis, or she is. Okay, the women, they've cut it back now. I don't think you can even, after Capriati and what's been going on, it's just too young to be on the pro tour at 13 years old, so you can't even play. I think at 13 you can play 3 matches. Don't mark me on this, but I know it's definitely gone up. And 14, I think six times you can play pro tournaments, and then at 16 now, I believe that's the number, you can play pro full time, but they don't allow you to go pro anymore at 13, 15. So pro tennis, top college tennis, it's the same thing. It's the same level. It's just another mentality. All right, getting on. Going to why coaches don't want to coach what the pros do. The pros, okay? You have pros. Pros, you don't coach what pros do. Pros don't always do it right. They don't do it. They're improvising. They're athletes that all of a sudden wind up in a situation and they do something wrong. And so many times I've been working with a guy that is pro material, or he's trying to go on the pro tour. He played college tennis, and he says, well, look at Nadal, or look at Djokovic, and they do it like this. Look at Andy Murray. They do it like this. I want to do it like that. Yeah, but they're in an emergency situation. He's not doing it because he wants to do it that way. He's doing it because he has to do it that way. Okay? So, and then the coaches, they see it and then they want to coach it that way. It's just backwards. Okay? So you have to understand. When you watch, let me give you a great example. When you watch Roger Federer, okay, and move to a forehand, he takes 1, 2, 3 steps and he hits the ball. And the steps might be really big, or let's say 4 steps. Boom, 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 sets up perfectly, hits the ball. He did not get there doing 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to the ball. He got there running to the ball with 6 steps and then setting up with 4 or 5 adjustment steps, okay? And then as he got better in the 14s, now he did it in 7 steps and 2 adjustment steps. And then as he got to be world class, he started to do it in 4 steps with 2 adjustment steps. And now that he's pro and he's at the top of the game, trust me, he could go over there in 2 steps and make it work and set up the strike zone. So a lot of coaches, they lose the idea of progression and how they got there. They didn't get there doing it that way. You can coach it that way, but you also, if you're coaching on the lower levels, you have to know how to get there in progression. You shouldn't just teach it from the top down. It's got to go from the bottom up. All right, talking ambidextrous tennis again. Now this is what I'm an expert in, and this is what I do. Okay, and everybody can learn from this, and if you don't use it now, use it in the future. I'll show you how it works. When you're teaching somebody, let's say this is my experience, I'm working with somebody, I'm teaching somebody to use their right arm on the serve, which I teach technique, okay? It's technique when you throw. It's a throwing technique, and it's different than a baseball. Get it right, guys. It's different than throwing a baseball than throwing a football. It's a tennis. It's up and out, and the wrist, it's like throwing the racket to the sky with a loose wrist. Okay, well, you can get into that later, but I'm teaching technique. I'm not looking at results. Anybody that's out there throwing the ball up and the kid hits it over the net and you say that's good, you're going nowhere, okay? You're wasting their time. You're babysitting. Don't babysit, okay? Learn the technique. Learn the right way to do it. But here's my point. Ambidextrous. When you're serving, I'll have a kid serving right-handed. It's like speed reading. I'll have them do it left hand, okay? And then it's hard. They can't do it with the left hand. So then I'll go, okay, go back to right hand. All of a sudden, it's 40, 50% better now with the right hand, okay? Speed reading. What do? You got to read a paragraph. No, first a sentence, the whole sentence. You don't just look at words now. Now you look at a paragraph, then you look at half of the page, then you look at the full page. Guess what they do then? They turn it upside down. They go, okay, read now. You know, when they turn it back the other way, you go, whoo, okay, now you can read half the page. So they made it difficult. That's what I do. So even if you're not going to use ambidextrous tennis, which I recommend just to develop the body evenly and a lot of other things, try it sometime. Have them do it with the left hand on the serve or the forehand or something. Try it. And then, okay, now isn't that forehand easy or that serve is easy on the right side? That's going to wrap it up right now. We'll see you next time. John Foster, Talking Tennis with John Foster, Global Sports Network. See you next time on the courts.